Happy, beautiful day. It's Pete Cohen here with a book review of the awesome, the incredible Rich Dad, Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki, sold over 26 million copies around the world. And this is an incredible book. I'd really encourage you, if you want to improve your relationship with money, if you want to earn more money, then this is a book I would really encourage you to dive into. There's so much in it. I just want to explore a couple of the key areas that I think that are so important. Right now, our world has been turned upside down and the economy is going to change. There's no question about it, but this book is timeless, absolutely incredible. So let's just look at a few things. Let's first off look at wealth. What is wealth? Well, you might not know this, but wealth really, what it means is, how much money do you have in terms of, if you stopped earning money, how long could you continue to work and still be able to pay for the things that you need to pay for in your life? So that's one definition of wealth, and just be really honest with yourself and look at it. Because sometimes in life, it's quite hard to look at what's actually really going on and be honest about it. Be honest about your health, be honest about your relationships, be honest about your wealth, be honest about your relationship with money. And this is what Robert Kiyosaki is really inviting all of the readers to do, to wake up and think, what do I believe about money? Because some people believe that money is the root of all evil. Some people believe that the lack of money is the root of all evil. And I kind of fall into this camp here. I think it's the lack, because there's never been better opportunities for everyday people to earn money. There are more millionaires now than there ever has been in the history of man. But it really all revolves around mindset, how you feel about money. Now, my personal story with it was really interesting because as a young man, I really lacked confidence. I didn't think I was good enough. So whenever I had money, my mentality was, I need to spend this. Plus the fact that I'm a very excitable person. Give me something. I was never really thinking about tomorrow. And that's why it's so easy for people all around the world to be like sheep and to get into debt, to not think about the consequences of what we're doing. There's never been so many chances. There's never been so many scams. There's never been a chance to do things differently to how other people do them. But what's happening right now is many of us are being forced into a position, especially if you have a job. And what Robert Kiyosaki talks about is a job stands for just over broke. And that might seem a bit harsh, but from my generation, I kind of come into this crossover, the crossover of jobs for life. My parents came from that kind of era. You could get a job, you could work for 30, 40 years, and they'd give you a clock when you left, and everything would be taken care of. Now, most people will have 17 jobs by the time they're 30 years old. But now, as we move into a kind of new era, some people will never have a job. Why? Because people are being replaced. You might have heard of this. It's called algorithms, that computers can be more advanced than human beings, and that's why some industries will absolutely disappear. People won't be driving buses. Computers will be driving buses. And unless we look at doing things differently, unless we keep having this victim mentality, then some people will have no money. And what do you think will happen? That will be more poverty. But I really encourage you to look and be curious about money. What he talks about is the 5 things that really hold people back when it comes to money, that's holding them where they are. And if you stay where you are, you're dying. You know, one of the videos that we did with Ronnie O'Sullivan, he talks about if you're standing still, you're going backwards. And for so many people, fear is holding them back. Cynicism, oh, it's just one of those things, or you're just talking about this. No, let's all of us just stay where we are. Lazy, oh, I can't be bothered. It's not for me. Bad habits and being arrogant. What about you? What is it in your life right now that is wildly important to you? The 3 main areas that I really like to work with people is around their health and their energy, their relationships, and their wealth and their work. If I showed you 2 doors and one door said wealth and one door said health, which one would you go through? It's fascinating when you ask some people, because some people say, I'll go through the wealth door, and then when I'm wealthy, I'll get healthy. Look, ultimately, it's actually up to you. But what I invite you to do is to really think about your relationship with money. If money was a person, how do you think about this person? That might seem a bit strange, but I think it's important that we explore. Personally, I made a lot of money. I sold a business for £2.4 million in the year 2000. And you know what? I had all of this money. I really didn't know what to do with it. I didn't feel I was worthy of the money. So just as quickly as I got it, I started to get rid of it, made some very poor decisions. I didn't get great advice, and I pretty much lost everything that I had. But when you look at successful people, you'll realize that that's some of the toughest lessons they've had, of losing everything with money, but realizing the thing that you never lose is here. And this is the reason, ultimately, our relationship with money, I believe, is the relationship that we have with ourselves. This is our home. This is where we live. And the ultimate wealth is learning, is getting better, is choosing to be different, to stop being like sheep. I used to live in this house in the countryside, and one day I heard this loud noise outside my house, and I opened the door, and literally there were hundreds of sheep just running past my house, going into my garden. And I remember thinking to myself, what's happening here? How did this happen? I didn't know what to do. Who did I call? There was no one to call. But before I knew it, this dog came in, a sheepdog, because sheepdogs do what sheepdogs do, and it came in and it rounded up all of these sheep. And then before I knew it, they'd all gone. Now, why am I telling you this? Because that is how so many people are. They're just doing what they've always done. And if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So let me ask you the question, do you want more money? Do you want more wealth? Do you want to have more? Do you want to do more? Do you want to create more? Because if you do, then this book could seriously help you look at your relationship to money. And this is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. He talks about his dad, who had what I would call a conventional relationship to it. You know, go to school, get a good education, get a job, and just fit in, be like a sheep. But he was lucky enough to have a relationship with one of his father's friends who had a much more entrepreneurial mindset, who really helped Robert look at money with a fresh pair of eyes. We know that people don't change when we tell them what to do. People change when their perspective changes. And there's an awful lot of rich people out there that you can learn from. And you can learn to have a money mindset. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. There's never been a better opportunity for the likes of you and me to grow, to make more money, to come up with ideas. This is the great thing. You can come up with an idea now, you can make that happen, and you can make money. And ultimately, when you have so much money, for me, it's all about what can you do with it? How can you give more? And that's why the lack of money, I think, is the real root of all evil. No matter what you think of some of the richest people in the world, they've got so much money that they literally put it to good causes. In fact, why not watch the YouTube video that we did about Think and Grow Rich, which was an idea of Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie became the richest man in the world, and he said, I spent the first half of my life accumulating all of this wealth, and I spent the second half of my life giving it all away. Check out that video. Check out the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Absolutely amazing. And know that there is wealth and abundance out there to be had, waiting for you. But it's all about changing your mindset. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.